I think it's important that we talk about how we digest information and what's in the news. And, the Fed paused rates at the end of last year, and coming into this year, I definitely saw and felt that the common theme was that interest rates would likely come down in the spring or in March of this year. And although I'm not a doom and gloom person, I do like to be realistic about things, especially expectations. And there's a lot of clients and people that we're talking to that I feel like are trying to time the market, which is not easy to do. And a lot of times you might find you miss an opportunity when you try to do that. One thing that sometimes I get a little bit concerned about is when these narratives get pushed out too far and too deep, it's very easy on the consumer side. I would do the same thing if I wasn't in this for a living, to think that these things are going to happen, even though it's all speculation. And just this week, we saw very good news for the economy. We had jobs numbers go through the roof. They were almost twice what they were expecting on Wall Street, which is a huge jump. In addition, they revised those numbers up in December, another 100,000. November, I believe, another 10,000. So the point is, in the last 3 months, job growth is going through the roof. The unemployment rate's staying low. The stock market has had some major wins. And remember the old adage in our business, what's good for the economy is bad for interest rates, and what's bad for the economy is good for interest rates. So all of these things like economic growth and jobs and the stock market having wins, that's good for the economy, not good for interest rates. Now, that being said, I don't think interest rates are necessarily going up, but the Fed has now come out and changed their tune a little bit to say, they're pausing for now, but there are no rate cuts that are imminent. And I believe they won't even start thinking about cutting rates until the second half of this year. And even that's not a guarantee. So the point is, be careful what you're reading. Make sure you're asking a professional. And don't try to time the market, because it usually doesn't work out. I talked to somebody this week that I believe is an industry expert on the real estate side. And he had an interesting view. And he said that he feels like the next 90 days or so is similar to the window right before COVID hit, when you had somebody who bought a house right before COVID and then COVID hit and prices went through the roof. That's his analogy, because he believes as rates start coming down towards the second half of next year, or we get into the spring selling and buying season, he thinks this is the window right now to get in. While there's still seller concessions, you can still negotiate. And his belief is once we get out of this 90-day window, you're going to be back to multiple offers, bidding wars, and that's going to drive prices up. So if I can leave you with anything, if I was advising my best friend right now, I would say buy the right house when it comes along and don't try to time it, because as history goes and statistically speaking, if you're going to hold on to this property, it is going to work out.